For the first time since 2008, Jason Day will not be part of the PGA Tour's postseason. The 18-year streak, the longest active run on tour, came to a heartbreaking end at the Wyndham Championship. But instead of despair, the former world number one has made a decision that has stunned the golf world. He's not sad. He's relieved. When Jason Day qualified for the FedExCup Playoffs as a rookie in 2008, nobody could have predicted what was to come. For 18 straight years, the Australian found a way to make the postseason. Through injuries, swing changes, and the relentless grind of professional golf, Day kept showing up when it mattered most. The streak was a testament to Day's remarkable consistency. He was the second most consistent qualifier in the FedExCup era, trailing only Keegan Bradley. But unlike Bradley, Day's streak ran uninterrupted from the very beginning of the playoffs' existence. The pinnacle of his career came in 2015. Fresh off winning the PGA Championship for his first major title, Day entered that year's playoffs as the hottest player in golf. He won the Barclays by 6 shots with a final round 62, then followed with another 6-shot victory 2 weeks later at the BMW Championship. The Barclays victory vaulted him to world number one in the official world golf ranking for the first time in his career. The man who once dominated the playoffs was now watching them from the sidelines. The 2026 season started with promise. Day opened with a runner-up finish at the American Express, and everything seemed to be moving in the right direction. But then the body started to fail him. It's just that my body's sore. Like it hurts to hit a shot. So to even put any energy into it hurts. A lingering back injury that had plagued Day throughout his career returned with a vengeance. He withdrew after 10 holes of the opening round at the U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills in June, and he was carted back to the clubhouse in significant discomfort. He returned the following week to finish T55 at the Travelers Championship before missing the cut at the Open. The injury then forced him to withdraw from both the 3M Open and the Rocket Classic in consecutive weeks, leaving him scrambling to earn enough FedExCup points to extend his postseason run. He had managed just 2 top 10 finishes all season and missed the cut or withdrew in 4 of his most recent 5 starts. Day acknowledged that his health was the biggest factor behind his struggles. I would say that's probably the largest attribute to the play has been my body, he admitted. I had some club changes, but other than that, it's been kind of all body stuff. The man who had fought through pain for years had finally reached his breaking point. Day entered the Wyndham Championship, ranked 75th in the FedExCup standings. To make the top 70, he needed at least a 2-way tie for 12th. It was a tall task for a player whose body was barely holding together. The first round was a struggle. Day carded a 71, leaving him with work to do on Friday. But in the second round, his back pain flared up again. He managed just a 3 over 73, leaving him at 4 over for the tournament and 7 shots outside the cut line. The streak was over. It was a good streak, obviously, but I would have loved to keep the streak going, Day said. But things happen, you know. You're not going to keep everything going forever. The end of the streak closes a consistent postseason run by Day, who first established himself as a playoffs threat with an 8th-place finish in the 2010 FedExCup standings before reaching his pinnacle in 2015. The man who had been a fixture in the postseason for nearly 2 decades was finally forced to accept defeat. When Day addressed the media after missing the cut, he didn't sound like a man who was devastated. Instead, he sounded like a man who had finally accepted what his body had been telling him for years. "I'm looking forward to taking some time off," Day said. "My body's been really awful actually this year, so just to try and grind through it has been tough. The last 2 days have been pretty hard to try and get my body ready." The decision is significant. Day is 38 years old. He has 13 PGA Tour wins, a major championship, and a world number one ranking to his name. But his body has been through a war. The back injuries, the withdrawals, the constant pain, it has all taken a toll. It's just hard because how condensed the season is. They're just forcing you to play, Day said. If not, then you've got to take time off, and there's really nowhere to take time off. I probably should have listened to my body a little earlier and taken a good month or 2 months off, but instead I tried to force it through, and I'm stuck with where I finished. The man who tried to push through the pain was finally listening to his body. Day's decision to take time off comes with a potential consequence. He currently sits 9th in the international team standings for the 2026 President's Cup at Medina, with only 6 players becoming automatic qualifiers. The other 6 will be captain's picks by Jeff Ogilvy. Day doesn't sound optimistic about his prospects. I had a chat to Jeff about it, and look, if he wants me prepared and ready, I'll try and do the best job I can, Day said. But I understand if they want to go a different way because of my recent form and obviously my body. I'm happy either way, he added. I just want them to perform the best they can. The man who had been a stalwart of the international team is prepared to step aside. Jason Day's 18-year FedExCup streak has come to an end. But the real story isn't about the streak. It's about a man who finally decided to prioritize his health over his career. I just need to take some time off, get away from golf a little bit, because it's really annoying me right now, Day said. The questions now are impossible to ignore. Can Day return to competitive golf after taking significant time off? Will his body ever allow him to compete at the highest level again? And what does his decision say about the pressures of professional golf? One thing is certain. The man who once said, "My body is beat," is finally taking the rest he needs. And the golf world will be watching when he returns.